Local programming on KRWG made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Fronteras, a Changing America. I'm Anthony Moreno. The New America School in Las Cruces is a charter school that serves new immigrants in helping them learn English and achieve a high school diploma. The school also helps traditional high school students receive a high school diploma and provide them with the individual attention that they need for their academic curriculum. With us now is the principal of the New America School, Margarita Porter. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the school recently just opened this year and you have a new facility. Could you tell us a little bit about the school and the facility?
Our facility opened in August of 2012. They started construction back in September. And where our school is located is in the downtown mall in the heart of Las Cruces, and it's in the last section of South Main Street. And so it's a beautiful facility. We have 7 brand new classrooms. We have a mini gym. We have a cafeteria for our students. And so it's centrally located, close to the bus stop, so that our students can access the school.
Okay. Now I noticed that the facility provides everything that a traditional high school would provide for a student. Now, are you open both during the day and night?
Yes, our school opens at 8 o'clock and we are open through 10 o'clock at night to provide our adult students the opportunity to attend school in the evening.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about the mission of the New America School?
So we are the 5th school within the network, within the New America School network. We have 3 schools in Denver, 1 in Albuquerque, and now here in Las Cruces. The mission is to empower immigrants with English so that they can continue on with higher education, going into the workforce, a trade school, or whatever it may be that they have in their future. We have a Newcomer Program which allows our students to be immersed in English for 4 hours a day. And so this program immerses students in English. They are required to speak it, read it, and write it proficiently.
This is a pretty intensive program, is it? Is there any type of special, I guess, unique tactics or skills that you may use to help the students achieve this in such a short time?
All of our teachers are highly qualified in TESOL, which is Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. Within 3 years, all of our teachers must have this endorsement to be an employee of our school. So what is required is that they have the strategies and techniques to teach English proficiently. They come with strategies such as sheltering, using objects, using the students' prior knowledge, and so forth to start building the English language proficiently.
You have a diverse student population. Could you tell us a little bit about them, where they may be from, or how they really the different demographics that may be at your school?
So at New America School here in Las Cruces, our demographics are 97% Hispanic. We do serve students in the traditional high school setting, which is between 14 and 18 during the day. So between 8 and 5, Monday through Thursday, our traditional students can attend our school. Then in the evening, we also have our night program, which is at 6 o'clock, our adult students can come to our school and attend our classes with the goal of attaining a high school diploma.
Okay. What is the process of a student to go to your school? What type of process or applications or paperwork do they need to fill out to become a student?
For the student who is the traditional high school student, all we require is either a transcript from another high school, or if they're coming straight from 8th grade, which would be in August again, just to come in with their parent to fill out the paperwork. We don't ask for birth certificates, we don't ask for any other documentation other than the school required documents, which is immunization records, a transcript, and a proof of address. and those are the only items that they are required to bring to us to come to our school.
What is it about your school that may be unique to, say, a regular charter school?
Mm-hmm. What sets us aside from a traditional high school is that we allow students over the age of 21 to be served. We get equal funding for those students, so this is allowing them to have a second chance at a high school diploma. A lot of our students have either dropped out, they have interrupted education, they have dropped out because they got pregnant, because they had to work in order to help their family survive, and so they have dropped out for one reason or the other. So we are open to students over the age of 21, whereas other charter schools or other high schools aren't. So that's the population that we serve in the evening. So this is a second chance for our students to continue their education and complete their high school diploma. We also encourage our students to participate in our dual enrollment program, which we have with Doñana Community College. Students have the opportunity to be our students, earn a high school diploma, but also earn college credits.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since you accept students over 21,
Mm-hmm.
you probably have heard many stories that may be different than the traditional high school student. What are some of those stories that the over 21 students may be bringing
Mm-hmm.
to your school, and how has that impacted you as an educator and also the school environment there?
We hear a lot of stories about our students who have dropped out because of pregnancy, because they have to go to work. They come to us and say, "Miss, I was so close, can you help me get my diploma?" We look at their transcripts, we see how far they are, and then we place them in the classes that they need to graduate. What comes to mind is one young woman who has 2 young children. She came to us and she dropped out because she was pregnant, and she's back at our school, and she's very proud to be so much closer to a diploma. Our students feel so proud of coming back to school and really taking a turn for the better. And this is their final opportunity to earn a high school diploma, to continue on. One of the challenges, because of the population that we serve, is continuing the funding through the legislature. I know that last year that was one of the issues in the education committee, was that they want to stop funding for our students over the age of 21. And so that is one of the challenges that we need to continue to fight for at the legislature, and have proponents of schools like the New America School and continue their fight and lobbying for our students. For some of our students, it's not a choice, but it's a survival mechanism to quit school and go to work, or be with their families. And so this is offering those students a second opportunity to continue improving their life.
See, as this new legislative session just opened,
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the, I guess, vibes in Santa Fe that you're receiving so far? Have you heard anything or about what to expect?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Since it just started, we don't know who's on the education committee yet, but I'm sure it'll be a topic of conversation. There aren't very many schools who serve students over the age of 21, and so for those schools it's important, and for those students it's important for us to continue that fight, to continue the funding, the equal funding for our students regardless of their age.
You run into this challenge of funding for students over the age of 21, but do you also run into the idea of many individuals that may think that these students had their chance,
Mm-hmm.
and they blew it, so they need to go, work a minimum wage job, or that's it?
And that is our challenge, because if you look at statistics and if you look at how much better students with a diploma do in society, that's the big number we need to look at. An educated person requires less health insurance, or less, they bring more to our community with a diploma than without it. And so it's economically more stable for us to give these students that opportunity to earn a diploma so that they can continue out in the community serving others. And so, and it helps us in the end because we don't have to provide more services for them. We don't have to provide more health insurance. We don't have to provide more because they are more self-sustainable.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you not only deal with the, I should say, encounter students who have the light bulb, so to say, turn on in their mind and realize the potential of what an education can bring them. But you also, your school is unique because it seems to also have the ability to bring the immigrant spirit into that atmosphere. How does that make things at your school a unique place to be?
Okay, so the mission of all New America schools within the network is to empower immigrants. And so our main focus is to bring those students with limited English and teach them English and teach it well to them so that they can move on. So that is our mission. So bringing in students with limited English, bringing in students who need English as a second language, bringing in families, parents. If we can, because right now we can fund them equally, we're allowing all of our parents, our students, anyone who has limited English to gain those that proficiency level so that they can move on and not work for minimum wage, but get a job that will enable them to help their families in the end. And so that is the mission. And so it is always in the back of our minds is to how are we meeting the mission? How are we making sure that our students learn English, learn it well, and move on? And so it's that's also what sets us aside from all the other charter schools is the mission that we have.
What are some of the professions that your students want to go into? I imagine there's a wide range. Is there a difference between immigrant students or traditional students, the professions they want to go in, or is it pretty much the same?
At this point, a lot of our immigrants just want to learn English and get a job. And so, encouraging them that they are much more than that. And how can we encourage our students to pursue an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and continuing on their education? That is also part of our mission, is how do we empower them so that they continue higher education. And so I don't know if there's a difference, because we have some students who aren't immigrants who want a diploma so that they can get a job, and so it's just how do we encourage our students to think bigger, think more than just a job, but how do we encourage them to think of a career? How do we get them into trade schools? How do we get them into the universities? And so changing that paradigm of our students and our community is key.
I see. Now, let's talk a little bit about the traditional students that may be at your school. Could you tell us a little bit about them, maybe some of the struggles that they may be facing, and even some of the opportunities?
So with the population that we have, I think a lot of our students want to finish quickly. They want to get their diploma so that they can go on and get a job. And so that is one of the challenges, is making sure that we maintain those students who come through our door, keep them from dropping out, keep them from leaving us and going to another school, keeping them focused on their goals. And so that is a challenge. There's a challenge throughout our state with truancy and attendance rates with our high school students, and it's a continual problem with students not having that, I guess, hunger to finish their education. Well, miss, I didn't come today because I didn't feel well, but okay, so how are we making sure that our students are coming to us, they're coming to school every day and they're learning, so that we can prepare them for the state test, so that we can prepare them for their ACT, so that we can prepare them for whatever it is that they need to continue. So that is one of the greatest challenges I feel right now, is the attendance rate. And that is across the board. It's not only at our school, but it's across the district, it's across the state that we're challenged.
What are some of the things that you believe that your school can do to help those students that perhaps a traditional school may not be able to do?
Well, because we are a small learning community, I think having that relationship, a one-on-one relationship with our students, is really key. The rapport that teachers at New America have with our students is very different from a traditional high school because we know who our students are. At this point, we're at about 200 students right now, enrollment, and so our teachers are able to know who our students are, identify their need, and work with them. And so because we have low number of students in each classroom, we're able to do that. Our classrooms right now range between 10 students and 20 students. And so that low number of students per teacher within each classroom allows us to have a strong relationship with our students. So I think that for us, that is one of the main focuses, is for our teachers to make a connection with our teachers and make a connection to the relevance of an education.
When it comes to an education, you mentioned earlier, speaking about immigrants, how important it was to bring the family in, and for that education to really move about throughout the family, and the hunger seemed to be almost very, I guess, attractive for everyone in the family to receive that education. Is that work the same for traditional students?
Well, because traditional schools don't allow students over the age of 21, parents aren't able to be educated at the same time. So with us at New America, we have students who might be 18 and their parents come in the evening and are taking our ESL class or taking a few classes. We do have a set of a dad and a son who come to our school, and they're both are scheduled to graduate at the same time. And so for our students to see, wow, my dad is making he's making an improvement in his life. He's coming back to school. He is making that choice to earn a high school diploma. And so having our students encourage each other, or our families encourage each other, that is the key. When a traditional student comes in and is 15 or 16 and we have this Spanish-speaking parent come with them, we always give them a pamphlet and say, we are open to you also. A lot of our families come and they think we charge. Everything that we have to offer is free because we are a state charter. So our students get an education, our families get an education, and it is completely free of charge to them. And so that goes back to our mission and where we're empowering everyone to continue to move forward in this nation.
I see. Now, the school is recently opened. So part of the challenge before you was really to attract students to the school. Could you tell us a little bit about that process and how it was, and some of the steps you took along the way?
So I was hired in March, and when I came on, we had 0 students enrolled. So my mission was to, our bottom line was to recruit 150 students. So I was at Pro's Ranch Market, I was at Fiestas, I was out at the flea market, we were on the radio, we were on TV, we were trying to recruit students, and I was in churches. Every Sunday I was at a different church trying to encourage our families to come back to school, or for our families to come to school. And so that was one of the greatest challenges. Our goal was 150, and we opened our school with 235. So we were 85 students over projection.
Wow.
Which speaks volumes to the need of New America in Las Cruces. So that was our greatest challenge. And now we're looking at school year 2013, and that is another challenge, once again, is making sure that we have the right amount of students so that we can hire teachers, we can get books, we can continue what we have started. So our goal is 200 for next year. And so how do we maintain that number? Where our community of students is different. And so our students that are under 18, we only have about 50 of them. The other 150 are students over the age of 18. So that once again goes to show that Las Cruces really needed a school like New America to come and to serve our community.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
What does the right number change every year, or do you have a max number that you cannot really go over?
In 5 years, our goal is to serve 450 students. In June, we are going to start finishing the second floor. So in August, we will be able to serve more students. In August, we hope to have 200 and more students. So because we're opening up our second floor, we're opening up 5 more classrooms. And so that allows more students to be served. We are right now trying to figure out what 8th graders need as they come out of an 8th grade, what do they need in 9th grade? Are they interested in the music program? Are they interested in sports? Are they interested in, so what can we do as a charter school to serve those 8th graders? We are noticing that a lot of our families are looking for a small learning community. So how can we still maintain a small learning community but serve those students and serve them well?
I see. Let's talk a little bit about the faculty.
Mm-hmm.
I was at your school recently, last week, before the students were coming back, and I was able to observe what looked like the faculty and staff were together going over notes, and it looked almost like a training camp for a professional sports team a little bit, but on the academic level. And could you tell us a little bit about that and what was going on there, and how your faculty prepares to meet the needs of these students?
So as I said, all of our teachers by the end of the second year need to have an ESL endorsement, which is teaching English as second language, as a second language. So all of our teachers need to have that endorsement. Once a month, my teachers get together with me, with another professional, with somebody else that I feel will strengthen our staff. We have professional development once a month, and we meet together and say, okay, what's working, what's not? What have you done? Who's struggling? What kinds of problems are we encountering as a staff? You know, I saw that this student really did well in your class. What are you doing? Having those professional talks and collaborating through ideas and strategies is empowering our students even more, because we have the opportunity to talk at a professional level. And it's not a gripe session, it is what is working, what is not, what do we need to change? And so that is one point that we really take seriously, is how do we continually grow professionally? So that was what we were doing when you were on campus. And so bringing in trainers, bringing in other professionals to help the staff improve is always key. And so that is one of the visions of New America, is how do we continually grow as a staff. Next year, once we have a second floor, we have more students, then we'll bring more staff. And so how do we continually make our staff stronger to meet the needs of our students? And so that is very important to us. We have 10 days of professional development throughout the year. And so we meet and we just talk professionally. And so that is always helping our teachers grow.
I see. Could you tell us a little bit about the leadership of the New American School? It's not just in New Mexico, it's obviously...
Right.
You know.
So this is the 5th school of its name within the Southwest. There are 3 New Americas in Denver, 1 in Albuquerque, and now here in Las Cruces. We would like to, the vision of New America is to go nationwide. So we do have a superintendent who oversees all of the schools to make sure that all of the schools' mission and vision are in place. We follow the same curriculum. The schools here in New Mexico follow the New Mexico state standards, and we are moving slowly toward the Common Core curriculum, which is going to be common throughout the United States. So we have our superintendent who oversees all of the schools, making sure that we are in alignment with the vision and mission of the school. the two schools here in Albuquerque, last year, the Albuquerque, New Mexico was Charter School of the Year. And so following their footsteps and maintaining our vision and mission, and we also meet with them and to align our curriculum. And so it's a wonderful network because we have other schools to lean on, to ask questions, to follow, to lead. And so the very first school was open in Denver in 2004. So this is already almost 10 years in the making. And next year in 2015, our sites are in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I see.
Yeah.
So is the New America School the new charter school that other charter schools may possibly model?
If funding stays the same, yes, because we serve many people. As far as, when a charter school opens, each charter school is required to have a mission and a vision. What's going to set them aside? What is going to be different about your charter school? And so for us, that is what we are about, the immigrants is a second chance for adults. So other charter schools who are going to open have to have their own mission and vision. And so what's important is that they know why they're opening a charter school and who they're going to serve. And so that is, I don't want to say they're going to be like us, but I think serving a different type of student is the mission of each charter.
I see. Well, thank you very much for joining us and sharing with us about the New America School.
Thank you for having me.
Our guest was Margarita Porter. She is with the New America School in Las Cruces. Thank you for joining us for Fronteras, A Changing America. I'm Anthony Moreno.